probably just wait a few minutes so other people can join in before I get started doing what I'm doing today. We're all good. Just kind of doing my Sunday thing where I'm going to try to bake something and show you guys. I'm trying something different today, like something I've never made, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we'll find out. That's part of the fun with like vegan baking, is like I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm from the Midwest. But I have a lot of people tell me that they think I'm from somewhere other than Ohio, but that's where I'm from. I don't know. Hi. Okay. Hi, okay. So I'll go ahead and just like kind of get started on what I'm doing today. So I'm going to try to make, it's called a Chantilly cake? Chantilly, C-H-A-N-T, whatever. But it's a cake that my grandma really likes, and I tried to look up like a vegan recipe for it, and I could not find one because the majority of it is like egg and milk, like buttermilk and things like that you wouldn't typically think of as being vegan or being made vegan. So I'm going to kind of make my own recipe for it, and we're going to see how this turns out because I don't know. I've never made it. This is like my own recipe kind of thing. I'm not a great cook or baker by any means. I'm just kind of experimenting and gonna try to see if this works or not. But yeah, so it's a cake that's like kind of like a vanilla sponge cake, and then you put like berry jam in the middle, and then it's like a cream, like whipped cream cheese type frosting. So I'm gonna try to like do all this from scratch for the most part and veganize all of it. So one of the main components to this is like mascarpone cheese and cream cheese. And I figured I would try to just make my own version of it, and we'll see how that turns out. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started on like the first thing that's like the most important for this particular cake is like it needs a ton of eggs, which I'm not using. I'm using something called aquafaba, which very recently I discovered what that was, and it's the liquid from chickpeas. Sounds really weird, but I've tried it in like mousses and like quiches and stuff, and like it gives you the consistency of eggs, which really you're just trying to get like a binder and like the fluffiness from the eggs, which this does. And eggs don't really give the cake much flavor, so that this is basically just going to replace all that. So to start with that, it's basically you literally just take a can of chickpeas. Super easy. You just drain the liquid from it and then save the chickpeas for later, do something else with them. But it's just the liquid, and if it's like too watery, because you want it to be a little thick, you want it to be like the consistency of like egg whites, and if it's a little too runny, like watery, then just heat it on the stove, like simmer it for like, I don't know, a few minutes, just like very low temp until it thickens up just a little bit, and then I'll come back to that in a second. But for this recipe, it's, I wrote it down this time, so like I'm not just all over the place, because I don't really look at my phone when I write down recipes. So I actually wrote it down this time. Very messy handwriting, but that way I have at least something to go off of and I'm not just like randomly all over the kitchen. So yeah, while that's kind of warming up a little bit, I'll get started on something else. So next thing is, okay, so I've got 1 cup butter already in here at room temperature. So that's 1 cup, and you let it warm up so it gets a little warm, like just sitting out. This is the butter that I'm using, Earth Balance. I use it in everything. It's great for cooking. You can find this like everywhere. But yeah, so it's 1 cup room temp butter, and then what am I gonna do first? I got my instructions like all wet, but next is, hold on, butter, sugar. Okay, so I'm gonna add the sugar. So that's 2 cups sugar I'm gonna add. So give me 1 second, I'm gonna grab that. Also, if you guys need me to repeat something or slow down, let me know. I'm kind of just winging it here, and I'm making this kind of how I wrote it down. So if you guys need me to like slow down on anything, let me know. Alright, so 2 cups sugar. This is the slowest sugar ever. There we go. So yeah, I'm making a Chantilly cake. I don't know how to say that really. It's like Chantilly. It's a very like fluffy, spongy cake, I think, with like berries in the middle, like a berry jelly, and then like a whipped cream frosting. And I'm just trying to veganize all of it because I could not find a vegan version of this online, so I'm gonna make one. And we'll find out if it turns out. I don't know yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, how hard? I mean, it's just a cake. It's like flour, sugar, butter. I mean, oh, the sugar is taking forever. Anyways, yeah. Pros and cons. Please wait. Can you type in? I will go ahead and take a picture of like the really messy recipe that I made. If this turns out, I don't want to share it if it sucks because I've never made this and I'm not like a pro at cooking or baking, so I'm experimenting right now. But I will post something about it later so you guys can see what I'm making. And I spilled sugar everywhere. Anyways, okay, so now I've got 2 cups sugar in there, 1 cup butter, and then you're just gonna beat it for 2 to 3 minutes. So, a little bit hot. 3, okay, so like 2 or 3 minutes. I ordered this online. I think I got it on Etsy. I couldn't find one I wanted exactly like in a store, so I just had it made. The ratatouille turned out awesome, by the way. It was actually really, really good. I was surprised at how good it turned out. Sorry if you can't hear me. I'm like mixing shit right now. Thank you for fixing that. Yeah, all the stuff that I make is pretty cheap. I mean, I'm trying to like work on a budget here, so I try not to use any like crazy expensive ingredients. Like you can buy vegan cream cheese, like which is what I'm going to use for part of the recipe, but I don't like the taste of the one that my particular store carries, so I'm just going to make my own. It's really easy to do. I've never heard of avocado being a substitute for egg. That's just me. It might be, I don't know, but there's just so many other things that avocado hasn't really crossed my mind as like an egg substitute. Got like another minute. What overnight breakfast recipe did you do? Sorry, I'm like trying to read all your guys' comments. Being vegan is easy. Like for me it is because it's like I've been doing it for so long that now it's like I just know what products are vegan. I just know like what to substitute for things, and like I know what restaurants I'm gonna have a hard time at and which ones have an option or something. So it's like it gets so much easier the longer you do it. But it's really, there's so many like guides and resources out there that it really isn't hard. I mean, it really isn't if you want to just like keep following, that's the thing is like, it's not all or nothing. You don't have to like give up if you slip up or whatever. I hate that. People think that they slip up, they can't be vegan. I think it's just all about like doing your best. But that sounds really good, PB&J oatmeal. I'll have to try that sometime. Yeah, you can totally make your own vegan cream cheese. Like, so most like, alright, I think I'm done with that. So like, sorry, that was really loud. So like most vegan creamy, like sour cream cheese, like the mascarpone I'm gonna make, it's cashew based. So I already prepared here, I'll get to this in a minute, but like you soak cashews in water overnight, just like put them, or you can heat them on the stove, takes like 10 minutes, but it's just easy for me to just pop them in like a bowl with water overnight and let them sit. And then you blend them, and then it becomes like your cream base for most cooking things. So, aquafaba is still warming up. Okay, so now that I've got my sugar and butter beat together, I'm going to wait a second for the aquafaba, and then I'm going to beat that. So I'll answer some of your questions right now while I can. Trying to watch this. Vegetarian. Okay, I'm trying to like read all these, sorry. Favorite vegan recipe? I'm not sure. It just depends on what I'm in the mood to make. I'm really not. I don't really have like a top favorite that I can think of offhand. Sorry, I'm like trying to read all these. Where can you find easy vegan recipes? For me, if I'm craving something, I just Google a vegan version of it. Like if I'm in the mood for tacos, I'll Google like vegan taco recipe, or if I'm in the mood for, I don't know, like sloppy joes or something, like Google a recipe for a vegan version. Like there's a few websites that I've tried many recipes from that I've never been disappointed. I'm trying to think of them offhand, but I mean, usually like the top Google search recipe like websites are usually pretty good. I mean, and you can usually see the rating. I check by ratings. Like if something has a lot of reviews and it's pretty good, like 4 out of 5 almost, like I'll try it. You made tofu? See, I've never made tofu before. I just buy it. I know it's lazy, but okay. So I'm gonna try to work on this aquafaba now. Oh, you don't know what sloppy joe is? It's like ground beef crumbles, tomato sauce, and buns. And you can just make it vegan by getting ground beef crumbles that are vegan version. Animal Rights March was awesome. I had a really good time. It was my first march ever, and I really enjoyed it. It was just really cool being around like a lot of other people. I didn't know there were so many like vegans in my area, which was really cool. Okay, now I'm gonna work on this aquafaba shit. Okay, so if you missed what I said earlier, I'll repeat it real quick. So aquafaba, I've tried it in like mousses and quiches before, like in LA, and it's super easy to make, and it gives you like that fluffy consistency of egg whites. But it's literally just the liquid from a can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas, whatever you call them, and then you just keep the chickpeas for later, use the liquid, and you just whip it until it's foamy, and then it acts pretty much like an egg white. I don't know anything about the keto diet. All I know is that like some of the shit that people post that they're eating, or it's like it's keto. It's like I feel like that cannot be healthy. But I don't know really much about it. I just know that I've been vegan for a while, and this is working for me health-wise. So sloppy joes are really good. It's like I don't know. I think it must be like an American thing. I don't know. Okay, so now I've got my aquafaba. It's like just liquid. I'm gonna put it in a bowl and then beat it. Go away.
Excuse me.
Okay, I'm gonna just wait. Until you're gone. Yeah, I don't know anything about the keto diet. I don't get it. But like I've seen people posting recipes of like, I don't know, really unhealthy food saying, oh, it's keto, it's good, but I don't know.
Hi.
Go away.
Why?
Because I'm trying to do stuff.
I'm a little tall. Anyways, I'm gonna let her make her cake. It's a cake, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks. Is Rory still asleep?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anyways, I'm back. He's very distracting, so I wanted to wait till he was gone to start doing anything. Okay. Okay, so now I'm back to cooking my stuff. Anyway, so yeah, here's the aquafaba liquid, and then we're just gonna beat it until it gets like foamy. So I'm just gonna start that. Takes a minute, so sorry. it's supposed to take. Hopefully not much longer, but you're supposed to get it like really foamy. I'll try to talk to you guys. I'll move this over here while I do this. Try to like answer those questions. I need to like stand, like a standing mixer or something. Anyways, so bad being vegan. I sucked at it for a long time too. I kind of went back and forth between vegetarian and vegan, but like now I'm like 100% committed, but just do the best you can. Like it gets easier over time. It really does. Alright, I'm making, can somebody again write Chantilly cake? Because one, I can't spell it, and two, I'm like one-handed right now. I do not watch Shane Dawson. I remember him when I was like in middle school, but I don't remember what he did or why. Yes, Chantilly cake. I've been vegan for a couple years, I think. I don't know, I didn't like have a set date of when I went vegan. Okay, I think that should be pretty good. It's foamy. Okay, so now it's like, I don't know if you can see this, but it's like kind of foamy. So now I'm just gonna kind of mix it. What am I mixing this into? So I'm mixing this into my like butter sugar mixture. And I'm just gonna do kind of little by little. Because you just wanna kind of get it blended as you go. Sorry, trying to, wait, how old am I? I'm 24. Also, those of you just tuning in, I'm like making a Chantilly cake, and I think some people wrote it down in the comments. What sound do you hate? Is it the scraping of the bowl? I can like move it away. Is that better? Sorry. And then just a little bit more. That was a lot more. I don't know if anybody has like a recommendation for an easier way to do this so people like that just tune in like know what I'm doing and I don't have to like catch back up. I mean, I don't mind like repeating or catching back up with or catching people up, but and I eventually do want to like record these, edit them, because I mean I can edit videos and stuff, so it's like I want to start making like more official like YouTube videos of this kind of stuff, but right now I'm just kind of trying this out kind of thing. Okay, see, we got like some buttery sugar batter stuff going on. Being vegan really isn't expensive for those that think, but like honestly, like since I've stopped buying like meat and stuff, like it's so much cheaper, like I think, because I try not to buy as much like processed food in general, so like I buy a lot of fresh like fruits and vegetables and beans and rice and that kind of stuff, and that's always cheap. So I mean, cheaper than like processed food and meats and stuff. Alright, so then as far as what's next, I'm gonna add the vanilla after that, but I gotta keep mixing this little by little. Sorry, I'm like trying to read your guys' comments. Rory's first Animal Rage March was fun. It was my first one too, and she just slept the whole time. So she just enjoys like hanging out like in the carrier. So she just passed out the whole time. What's next? Okay, vanilla. I already said that. Sorry if this sounds terrible. I hope this aquafaba works. I don't know. I've never cooked with it, but I've tried things with it in it, and it's really good. So. It's taking forever. Okay, I'm done with that. We're doing that. I'm sorry this sounds terrible. I'll try to like move away while I finish this up. Hold on. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm gonna put the vanilla in it now. I have sugar all over the bottom of my feet right now, and it's like the worst feeling in the world. How much sugar? Or vanilla. Alright, so next I'm putting in some vanilla. Put 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, so 1 and a half. Okay. House tour. I think I'll eventually do like a house tour probably once we're like finished with everything. Right now it's like we're still kind of in the decorating like process, so I'd rather show people when it's like all done. What's next? Stir in half the salt. Okay, so now I need to mix my dry ingredients together. So for that, let's see. I've got. Also, I didn't mention this, but in the beginning, I preheated my oven at 350. So that's how you start doing this. All right, stir in half salt, baking powder, flour, into sugar, butter. Okay, so I need 3 cups of flour. You can use regular flour. I'm just using this, I don't know, particular brand, but any flour works. Also, I think you could probably do gluten-free flour if you're gluten-free, but I'm not positive. 2 and 3. Okay. Flour, and next I need baking powder, flour. Stir in half baking. Okay, so baking powder. I just need 3 teaspoons. I hate this little like stupid measuring thing. I can't fit it in any of the jars I have. So I said 3. Okay, we're just gonna put that in the flour mixture. 2, 3. Okay, and then just like a little bit of salt. Let me grab that. So the measurement's like a teaspoon, but I've got like this salt cracker thingy, so like I can't measure it very well. So I'm just gonna put like a couple turns of that in there. I don't want to over salt it though. That's probably good. Okay. And I'm gonna mix that. I'm gonna use a fork or something. I got my measuring spoon at like some weird kitchen store here near my house, but it looks cool, but it's not as functional as I would like it to be. Alright, so now I'm going to pour in half of this flour and baking powder and salt mixture into my butter sugar stuff. So I'm going to do about half of that. I like to bake at least once a week. Like I often don't make the time to like cook and bake, so I like meal prep a lot. But I really enjoy baking, so I try to make it a point like every week to try to make something. I want to get like more into like some serious baking though, because like I've been watching the the Great British Cooking Show or whatever, and I am so into that. I want to start getting into like more serious baking, because I mean they're all like home bakers, so I'm like I could do it. I could try, at least. I don't have to be great. Just enjoy doing it. I know, I'm sorry. I'm done with the fork squeaking. It's over, I promise. Alright, so now that's mixed. Alright, what did I say I was going to add next? Hold on, let me look at this. Okay, so buttermilk. So for the next part, I'm going to add a cup of buttermilk. Now, I'm sure there's many ways to like get around buttermilk and baking for like vegan recipes. I'm sure you could just use like milk and butter, like mix it, obviously, like buttermilk. I'm going to try something kind of weird, but... So I bought this stuff, and it tastes to me like buttermilk. And it's supposed to be like a drinkable yogurt, but it tastes like something I would use for baking instead. I just found this at Kroger. I think you can find it at like a lot of Kroger-owned stores. But I'm going to try this. I don't know how it's going to turn out, so don't follow me exactly on this. There's probably a better way to do buttermilk, but I'm going to just try this, because to me it tastes like buttermilk. So you could probably just use regular, like almond milk, soy milk, anything like that, I would think. Alright, so now I've got half of that in there. To me, this just has like a weird, soury buttermilk taste, but you can use almond milk, soy milk, any kind of non-dairy milk. Okay, so I mix that. Yeah, I'll totally show you guys how to make cauliflower wings sometime. They're really easy. Alright, so let's see. I gotta keep checking back to make sure I'm not like messing up on something. Salt, baking powder, flour. Okay, and then I'm gonna add the remaining flour and then the remaining buttermilk. And you don't want to overmix it, so. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing this. I need a bigger bowl anyway, so I'm going to transfer this into this bowl. Cool. No, I don't need measuring spoons, guys. I appreciate it, but I can just go buy another one. This one just sucks because like if I'm trying to like reach into something like this, it doesn't fit, so it's fucking useless. God, I hope this turns out. So I'm making this because it's my grandma's 79th birthday today, so I'm not going to tell her it's vegan. I'm just going to make it. It's going to turn out great, I hope, and she won't know. She don't need to know. It's fine. She wouldn't care. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's just a cake. That's how I think of like cooking and baking and stuff. It's like I don't think of it as like vegan anymore. It's just, it is. It's just how I make it. Okay, so that looks pretty mixed. I'm gonna like taste a little bit of it just to make sure that buttermilk is like okay in this. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Just had to check. I didn't want to like pour another cup in here and then like not like it. Okay. Cool. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. I think now all we need to do is put it in the baking tin, and then I'll start on like showing you guys how to make the frosting. Sorry, I'm trying to read your guys' comments while stirring. Alright, Okay, this looks like cake batter. I think I'm doing pretty well, all right so far. Why are you guys talking about spoons still? I'm like trying to catch up to the conversation. All I hear is spoon. All I see is spoons. That's awesome. Do I need other utensils? No. Jeff just bought me the last thing I needed, which was a garlic crusher, and it's like my favorite kitchen gadget. I love kitchen gadgets, by the way, but like he just bought me a garlic crusher, and it's like my third one because I break them all, but this one's a nice one, so it'll be great. It'll last, I hope. Okay, this looks done. I think the cake batter might be done. It looks like cake batter. See, it's got a good consistency. I hope it bakes all right. So for this, I'm just gonna use some like spray cooking oil, spray my pan. Because I want to spray it really well because I want to make sure this cake, because I want to do like a 3-tiered cake. So I want to make sure this fucker pops out of here because I don't want to get like all stuck and burnt. Sorry for cussing. I'm trying to cut back and work on that. But. Okay, that looks pretty oiled up. Now I'm just gonna pour that in there. I'm gonna pour it about halfway. Okay, cool. Now it just goes in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, so now while that's in the oven, I'm going to show you guys how to make the frosting. So for that, this recipe I wrote down calls for mascarpone cheese and cream cheese. So I'm going to make my own vegan version of that. So for mascarpone, I am going to do 1 cup cashews, and I already mentioned this, I soaked the cashews overnight. Okay, so I've got 1 cup cashews that were soaked overnight in water. Pour that in my blender. And then next it's 1/2 cup milk. So I'm going to use, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So for this, I'm just going to use some unsweetened almond milk. I like this for baking because it doesn't have much of a flavor other than just plain old milk. And it's not sweet, so it's good for if you're already adding sugar in something. So 1/2 cup milk. Okay, pour that in. And then I need 3 tablespoons of agave or maple syrup for sweetener. So this is agave. You can find it even at Walmart now. It's good as a sweetener in baking. So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of this. Oh wait, yeah, 3 tablespoons. So, 1. Sorry, I'm or you can use maple syrup for this as well. You don't have to use agave. You can use maple syrup or any other sweetener you want, really. I kind of just decide on what recipe I'm doing, what would taste better in it, like this or syrup. Okay, so what's next? 1 teaspoon vanilla. So just 1 teaspoon of vanilla in there. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to put the lid on this and then walk away for a second, so that way you guys don't hear my blender going super loud. Okay, I'm going to just press it and try to run away for a second. It's not plugged in, that's why it's gonna like let that blend for a second. Sorry, I'm like trying to catch up now with what you guys are saying. Okay, that looks pretty good now. Sorry. My blender is super fucking loud. Okay, so now I'm gonna add one 19-ounce can of coconut cream, and I already chilled it in the fridge. Oh, where'd it go? Did I take it out? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I chilled this in the fridge overnight. You want it to be cold because it makes it like thicker. So now I'm just gonna add that to, let me make sure this is 19 ounces. Nope, it's 13, but close enough. It's gonna have to work. Okay, so for this, you wanna just use like the cream part. So like you wanna try to just use the like thickest part of this. Or just the whole thing, whatever. I'm just gonna use the whole thing. Okay, now we're just gonna blend that again. Sorry, I'm gonna run away because it's really loud. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this part of it. So what I just made was like a mascarpone cheese, just like a vegan homemade version. Okay, so now that I got that, so this is gonna be like a mascarpone cheese replacement. It's a little runny, like watery, because I didn't use a thick enough can of like coconut cream. So we'll see if this works. If not, I can try to use something else. But so next I'm gonna try to make a cream cheese. So again, that's just 1 cup of soaked cashews. Because most of your like vegan cream-based stuff, the base is gonna be cashews that are soaked overnight. Okay, so. Got 1 cup of that. And then, so now I want to do a little bit of salt in there. Just a little bit. Okay. And then, what's next? A teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. So this, like, apple cider vinegar is used a lot in vegan cooking. I really don't know why. It's good. I mean, everything I've made with apple cider vinegar turns out great. I can open this. I'm going to just do 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Teaspoon, okay. And then I need to do 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So for that, I'm going to just squeeze a lemon into there. Or 2. Also, sorry I'm not talking as much now. I'm trying to like think of what I need to do so I don't mess this up. But feel free to stop me if you need me to explain something. Okay, got my lemon squeezer. Squeeze a couple lemons into there. I'm gonna do one more lemon. Okay, just in case anyone's wondering what I'm making right now, if you just tuned in. So I'm making a vegan homemade like cream cheese. That'll be part of like our frosting for this cake. Okay, so I'm gonna have to blend this, so I'm gonna run away after I start it. Sorry, it's really loud. Sorry. I'm gonna mash some of that down. Just want to scrape the sides because like the cashews will kind of stick up on the sides of the thing. Sorry. This is blending. Last time I'm blending anything, I promise. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think that's done. So now we're gonna work on our frosting. So for that, I'm gonna take, I wish I had a bigger mixing bowl. Hold on. Okay, I'm out of mixing bowls, so I'm gonna use a pot. So for the frosting, it's gonna be, you're gonna take 1 cup of that like coconut cream cashew liquid we just made. So 1 cup of that. And then here's our like cashew cream cheese stuff. So you can see it's kind of like the consistency of cream cheese. So that was the point. It's cream cheese. Okay. Now I got a cup of that. And I'm gonna just mix it into my liquid mixture. What lights are you guys talking about? The only lights I have in here are the ones up there. Okay, so now I got that mixed in. Cool. Alright, so next for the frosting, it's gonna be, so I've got 1 cup of my like vegan mascarpone. I've got 1 cup of my vegan cream cheese that I just made. Now I'm gonna add 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. Did you make the, was it the crocheted unicorn? It's like purple and rainbow. She really loves it. Okay, so 1 cup powdered sugar, and then 2 cups, and then a half. Okay, so I got my powdered sugar in there, and then next it's 1/4 cup butter and 1 teaspoon vanilla. So I've already got my butter that I like let get room temperature right here. I lost my spoon. I don't know where it went. Oh well. Spoon. Okay, so it's 1/4 cup butter. And then 1 teaspoon vanilla. So 1 teaspoon. Okay, so now we've got like the base for our frosting, and then I'm just gonna beat the frosting, and then we're gonna like add more liquid as we go. And for liquid, I'm gonna use coconut cream. So let me open a can of that. So I'm using this coconut cream in replace of heavy cream. You can use this in most baking instead of using heavy cream. You pronounce, are you talking about Rory? Her name's Ferrora. That's how you're supposed to say it. I think. That's what Jeff said to say it. I can't open this. Is the coconut cream sweet? I think this one is, yes. So I think you can probably get it unsweetened too if you already have like sweetener in it, or like in your whatever you're baking. Okay. My kitchen is a wreck right now. That's okay. So that's 1/2. So I've got like a 1/2 cup of coconut cream just kind of sitting here ready. But for now, I'm going to mix this and just see how it's turning out. Because I don't want it to be too watery, otherwise it won't work as frosting. So I'm going to just blend that. Sorry if this is loud. But warning you now, I'm going to be blending something. Oh God! Yeah, y'all, you guys didn't see that. So yeah, if your frosting's too liquidy, like I can already tell this is, just add more powdered sugar. And you just keep adding it until it thickens up. So it's starting to get there. It's starting to like become more like a frosting. Sorry. Okay, so like see how it's now like, I'm making a huge mess, sorry. But now it's starting to look more like a whipped frosting. I know, mixing stuff takes a while, but it's not hard to do at least. Okay, so now that that's mixed and I've got like a pretty, it'll thicken up because I'm going to put it in the fridge for a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to put that in the fridge so it can like stiffen up a little bit. Get a lid. Cool. I can find room. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's all like, so for the, what is it, the berry filling, you just take, what is it? You can use like strawberry jam or strawberry like preserves or something. So I'm using this, and it's just, what did I write down? It is 1/4 cup jam and then 2 tablespoons water. My hands are wet, so now I can't open this. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to make Jeff open that. My hands are wet. What was I doing? Okay, so 1/4 cup of like this jam. Let me rinse that out. Okay, so 1/4 cup of that, and I'm just gonna put it in a regular bowl. Just did I say 2 tablespoons water? Okay. Yeah. Cool. So. Okay. And then you just put it in the microwave for 20 seconds. And that's going to be like your jam that you're going to put in the middle of the cake. Sorry about that. Okay, so right now where we're at is we've got our cake in the oven. I'm gonna check on it. So I don't know if you guys can see that at all, but it's looking pretty good. But I'm not gonna open it because I don't want to mess it up. So I'm gonna do that again because I've still got like some more batter. So I'm gonna make 2 layers of that cake, and then I've got my my like frosting that's in the fridge cooling, so it gets like a little thicker. And then I've got, I just heated this up. But, so for the berry, like, preserves in the middle, it's just strawberry jam, berry jam, whatever, and then you put a little bit of water in it, and then just heat it for 20 seconds. So now I've got, like, a jelly, and I will mix that, and then let it sit for a minute. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I'll show you guys how to assemble the cake when it's all done. But right now, it's just everything's still kind of in the process of getting to the point of putting it together. So for now, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will tune back in with either pictures or I'll go live again. Probably just pictures, and just show you how to assemble like the cake when it's all done. And then I'll let you guys know how it turned out. And if it turned out pretty good, I'll post the recipe that I made. So that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to clean up this giant mess I have made in my kitchen. And I will see you guys later. And if you guys have any other questions, I'll try to like go through vegan gum. I think most gum is vegan, unless it specifically says it has gelatin in it. Okay, cool. If you guys think of any questions or want me to repeat something or whatever, feel free to message me. I'll try to get back to you. Can't promise I'll see every message, but just let me know if you guys want to ask any questions or anything. But for now, I'm going to go, and I will let you guys know how this turns out. Okay, bye. Bye.